All right. So, good afternoon to you all, ladies and gentlemen, all over the world. It's another day, and as we used to do every Sunday, we meet to have important session called leadership training. And this leadership training has been ongoing for some time now, and I can testify those that have been participating in this leadership session, they can testify that it has been more impactful and knowledgeable as well, because there is no easy way going, easy journey that every man can embark. If you really want to make it for good and for better, then it is also important for you to have what you call leadership skills. It is what you need to get what you call what leadership skills, which simply means if you lack leadership skills in your journey, if you lack leadership skills in your journey, it will be very, very difficult for you to get to the top. It will be very, very difficult for you to do it, for you to get to the top. And one thing that we need to understand is that in whichever changing world that we find ourselves, whatever that constitutes you as a security for you to get yesterday's results may not be able to serve you right to get today's results. Whatever that serves you secured enough for you to get yesterday's results may not be able to serve you right to get or maintain today's results. And as a matter of fact, there should always be a way out that you can build what we call fortification of what of clear purpose. There should always be a way you can build what we call fortification of what clear purpose, having a clear sense of agency and ensuring that you are on your path towards your growth or your journey. So it is important for us to have such leadership trainings to impact ourselves, encourage ourselves, and then also educate ourselves as leaders to ensure we are growing in the industry. And so far as business is concerned, I've always been saying there are about three people in the industry. There are about three people in the market. And all these three people exist, and you may either be one or the other. But as you continue learning or widening your lens, you may be able to know where you belong to and how you can widen your scope. And this is how I've been explaining. One, we have investors in the market. We have investors in the market. Two, we have traders. We have traders, and then also we have businessmen or business. Okay. So there are people who are pure of investors. When you talk of someone being an investor, that person focuses on maybe combined trading and then others. One may also choose to be a trader, focuses on only trading. And there are people who focuses on building business. Do you get it? So this afternoon, we've gathered here in the name of what? Of business. That is people, leaders who want to train themselves, who want to ensure that they will upgrade their knowledge and become resourceful leaders towards ensuring that they will build a successful business, right? So over here, it's for business personals, right? So maybe you may be a trader, maybe you may be an investor, but there is one key thing that you've not added to your trading journey or you've not added to your journey, that is being a businessman. And a businessman sees things in a different way as compared to an investor, and a trader too also sees things in the market in a different way as compared to a businessman, right? Which simply means if I want to be a businessman, I can be an investor, I can be a trader, and also be a businessman at the same time. And one thing is that it takes different attitude to grow in business. It takes what? It takes different attitude to grow in business. That is the reason why we are here to discuss about what? Building a sustainable business in what? In trading or in royal kill. Building a sustainable business in trading or in royal kill. And the question is, why should we build a sustainable, or why actually a sustainability matters here? And it's something that has been worrying me over the past years, over the past month, and it's something that I keep thinking about. And as humans, always we keep struggling day in and day out, going out, coming in, going out, coming in. But the tragedy is that most of us, it's only one thing that is bringing us down, that is lack of sustainability in our progress or lack of sustainability in our life. And once we can build a key concept of sustainability, we can secure our progress. Once we can build what sustainability in our business, or once we can build what we call sustainability, we can secure our progress. Ladies and gentlemen, so this afternoon we gathered here to talk about some of the vital things or some of the important things that as business personnel or as trainers we can do to ensure that we can build what we call sustainability in our business. Now, mind you, this is leadership training, and the lens may go beyond what you may perceive to know or perceive to understand because it is leadership training, right? Because at the end of the day, what I've been saying is that look, you may bring millions of dollars in the market. If you decide not to trade the game today, that is all. But we are looking for a system which would ensure that at the end of the day, even if we decide to trade, we trade or not, we can be able to be making money. You will be able to do what? To make what? Money. Which simply means for us to achieve such results, it's about thinking about sustainability in business. So there may be two people. One, the person who may be looking at the short-term goal, and then another person who may also be looking at the long-term goal. But for you to be able to achieve the long-term goal in this business, you need more leadership training. You need more what? Leadership training. You need more what? Leadership training. Now, this is the question that I do ask people. This is the question that I do ask people. Now, if assume you are a CEO in your own business or you are a CEO, what will you do in the next 5 years? If you happen that you are a CEO in your business or in a particular company, what will you do in the next 5 years to sustain the business? And the reality is that, according to research, most businesses collapse within the next 5 years. So that is the reason why people get into business. By 4 or 5 years' time, they will change the business. If they don't change the name of the business, they themselves, they will quit. Which simply means most of us lack sustainability system that will ensure that we can keep the business running on a long-term purpose. So if we don't have those skills of sustaining something, we may end up losing it within the short term. But the fact is that I've been saying 5 years is not too far. 10 years is not too far. If you think 5 years is too far, if you think 10 years is too far, if you think 15 years is too far, if you think 20 years is too far, think about the past 20 years in your life. What did you do with it? Do you get it? What did you do with such past years in your life? The past 5 years that maybe either it may be a wasted years or a growth year. What have you done with it so far, and what have you been able to achieve? So whatever you've been able to achieve today is as a result of what you did the previous years. Can someone hear me loud and clear? Can someone hear me loud and clear? If you can hear me loud and clear, give me one in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, give me one in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, give me one in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, give me one in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, give me one in the chat for me to know if you can hear me loud and clear. Now, so starting from somewhere, last week, Leader James Emekara came to give a wonderful message to us. He shared an insightful leadership skills, and also, so far as business is concerned, the key things that we need to know. And the first principle that he talked about is burning desire. Burning desire. And today, permit me to elaborate more, permit me to also start with the same point as burning desire in sustaining business. There is no business that can ever last long-term run without a burning desire. And the reason why most business do not last at a long-term run is because of lack of burning desire to continue running the business. Look, whatever, like I started saying, the fact is, in ever-growing world, whatever took you to the top will never sustain you at the top. You must ensure that you are doing or multiplying your results, your effort to ensure that you are building sustainability. And you need more of burning desire to ensure that you are growing a business. So in the business of Royal Kill, in the business of trading, what can be able to sustain you within the next 5 to 10 years is what is burning desire. Your burning desire to ensure that you can keep the momentum going over time. So a great man once said something: do not be excited when people begin to run. Do not be too excited, but be excited when you realize that they are getting to the finishing line. Be excited when you realize that they are getting closer to the what? To the finishing line. Because that is what shows that they've been able to proceed on their what? On their burning desire. Now, burning desire comes as a result of our momentum, what we are intending to pursue in life. That is the reason why it may be too dangerous for you to compare yourself to other people, especially in the field of business, if you really want to grow. Because what we may be pursuing may be different from each other. Maybe you, it's an ant that is pursuing you. Maybe me, it's a lion that is pursuing me. Maybe to someone, it's a tiger. Maybe to someone, it's a cat. Do you think we are all going to run according to, do you think we are all going to run with the same level of speed? And the answer is no. Which simply means wherever we are going in life, our burning desire, whatever that is pursuing us, will determine either we will be able to get to our destination or not. So if a lion is chasing me and an ant is chasing someone, do you think we will all be able to run with the same speed or pace? And the answer is no. So over here, I've categorized three key concepts that we can help in every business to grow and then also build a sustainable long-term income. Three key things that can help every business to grow, which also involve your business as a trader using Royal Kill, right? Which also involves your business as a trader using Royal Kill. So far as Royal Kill is concerned, and so far as you are going to be a good leader, you are building a business. Now, we are not building any business which will collapse within the next 5 years, which will collapse within the next 2 years. No, we are not here to quit next year. We are not here to quit next 2 years. We are not here to quit next 3 years or next 4 years. Which simply means if indeed we have that idea, that mentality, that courage, that spirit to ensure that we are not going to quit, we need to understand what we call system building. Now, there is no business that can be able to sustain for 5 years. There is no business that can be able to sustain for 10 years. There is no business that can be able to sustain for 20 years if there is no key principle of what? Of system building in the business. There's a reason why a great man once said something. He said, "Show me a poor man, and I will show you the lack of system building in his life." Show me a poor man, and I will show you the lack of system building in his what? In his life. Which simply means whatever key concept, whatever sustainable business that we are building without a system that is binding the business will surely do what? Collapse. So first, when we think of building a sustainable business, we should think of a better system, a structured what? System. That is the reason why, looking at this particular computational plan of Royal Kill, I'll be like, wow, if a man can take time to figure things out for himself, I think the next 5 years will be greater than the past years. If a man can take time to figure things out, then, oh God, the next 5 years ahead of us is going to be so awesome. It's going to be so great because we are going to lay a proper system, a well-structured system to ensure that we will set ourselves free for the next 10 years and 20 years ahead of us. That is called sustainable business. Right? Now, the easiest way to build a system or to keep building a sustainable system is by laying what you call structure or laying structure. A proper structure in your business will be able to bring the system for you. Which simply means if we don't have a well laid out structure in the business, there is no system. We are not building a system. If we don't have a well-designed structure that I am working on, I work on the system, I work on the structure. So for me to be able to get to the top, for you to be able to get to the top and sustain where you are and be able to maintain it, It takes one thing, working on the structure and working on the structure. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe the future contains a lot of challenges. The future contains a lot of opportunities. But then the challenges and the opportunities can be blended together to be able to build sustainability, if only if we lay a well-structured system. If we are able to lay down a well-structured system where I can work on it and I can also work on it, right? If you guys what I'm saying, give me one in the chat. If it's clear, give me one in the chat. If it's clear, give me one in the chat. So the first key concept is what? A system building, laying a well-structured, which would ensure that you'll be able to work on it and then also work on it at the same time. Very good. Now, the next key thing that can help us to be able to build a sustainable business is doing what we call following, after we having the system, following what we call a duplicable system, to which 3 weeks ago, Dr. Newman talked about it. If you've forgotten, 3 weeks ago, Dr. Newman talked about it. Focusing on what we call duplicable system. Now, you've been able to weigh or lay down the structure. How many people can be able to use the same structure that you've laid? How many people can be able to follow the same structure that you've laid? That is called duplication. If people cannot be able to follow the same structure you've laid, and you are the only person who can follow the same structure, who can work on the structure, you are not building a business. If you are the only person who can work on that structure, who can earn from that structure, you are not building a business. So you need to build around the system of what? Of duplication. Now, a great man once said something. He said, teach me what you know and identify the number of people you've taught them what you know, and I will show you who a successful man is. Teach me what you know and identify the number of people you've taught them what you know, and I will show you who a successful man is. And sometimes, you see, in the field of business, a lot happens. You may be at the bottom looking at someone at the top. I want to be like this person. I want to be like Dangote. Maybe if you're in Africa, I want to be like Dangote. Maybe I want to be like Bill Gates. I want to be like this person. The question is, can you do what it takes to get there? Can you do what it takes to get there? So you need to build around the system. That is what you call duplicable system. So since you have the system, a well-structured system, you need to build a duplicable system around that particular system. Now, the next thing that I'm going to take time to elaborate on is leadership growth. Leadership growth. Now, there is no company. Listen, there is no company. When we talk of a company, that is a group of people. A group of what? A group of people. There is no company in this world that can be able to, that has been able to sustain long or been able to sustain for a very long time without any leadership growth. That is the reason why we realize that it is important for us to organize this leadership session on every Sunday so that people can be able to develop more skills, more knowledge, and also ensure that they are being well impacted. So there is no system that has been able to sustain. There is no duplicable system that can work if there is no leadership leadership growth. There is no system There is no duplicable system that can be able to sustain without leadership growth. So a great man once said something again. He said, show me a slave and I'll show you more slaves. But identify one leader and I will identify more leaders. And the reality is that if you really want to grow a system which can be able to sustain, which can be able to benefit more people and have long-term impact, this is the key concept. Always understand leadership principles. Always understand what? Leadership principles. And every great company, if you really want to identify great companies, search for key leaders in the company and you would understand the progress of the company. If you really want to see the progress or a progress of a company, seek or search for the leaders and you will know the reason why that particular company exists as it is. Now, there is this man called, is it Marion Mills or something? He said, an army of sheep led by a lion, an army of sheep led by a lion would always defeat an army of lion led by a sheep, which is leadership. Leadership is essential part of business growth. An army of sheep led by a lion would always defeat an army of lion led by a sheep. Leadership is important. And you should develop the habit if you want your business to sustain. You should develop the habit of building more leaders, training more leaders. Now, as a leader, there are countless attitudes that you can portray to ensure that you can build a sustainable business. Now, mind you, are not talking about just business, we are talking about sustainable what? Business. After 5 years to come, some of you will be here. After 5 years to come, some of you will not be here. Listen to me. Am I loud and clear? If I'm loud and clear, give me one in the chat. Am I loud and clear? I said, after 5 years to come, some of you will be here. After 5 years to come, some of you will not be here. And it takes only one thing. It takes only what? It takes only one thing. That is leadership skills. Leadership skills that will help you to get to the top, or it's leadership skills that will bring you down. If I'm loud and clear, give me one in the chat. If I'm making sense, give me one in the chat. It is only one key concept. After understanding this, it is the leadership skills that will either get you to the top, or it is the leadership skills that will bring you from the top to the bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, great companies have collapsed because of lack of leadership skills. Great companies have collapsed because of lack of what? Leadership skills. Which simply means sustainability matters a lot in terms of leadership. Now, a weak leadership would also build what? Weak followers. Listen, a weak leadership would also build weak followers. That is the reason why Maureen Mills made it clear that an army of sheep led by a lion would always defeat an army of lion led by what? A sheep. Strong leadership promotes strong followers. Strong leadership builds strong followers. Weak leadership promotes weak followers. Weak leadership promotes weak or builds weak followers. Take notice of that. Which simply means if we are talking about sustainability here, it is the matter of a leader building and training more leaders. It is the matter of a leader training and building more leaders. Now, leadership goes beyond just training. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Leadership goes beyond just trading. If you are trading, that does not only make you a leader. Listen, if you are good in trading, that alone does not make you a leader. And you need to have more leadership skills, more leadership knowledge to ensure that all those people following you will also be able to grow to be good leaders. Trading alone does not make you a leader. That is what you need to know. Right? That is what you need to do. What you need to know. Building a sustainable business. And it is one of the tragic moments in life that great companies, great people get to the top and they get down again because of lack of leadership skills, lack of the ability to enhance leadership empowerment. That has brought a lot of great institutions down today. And today, as you keep building your empire, mind you, you may not be the only person to be in that empire. By 5 years to come, you may be a great person. By 10 years to come, you may be a great person. And it is what you've been able to build that will sustain you at the top. And the question is, what are you building? Now, whatever we are talking about building here has nothing to do with trading. Listen to me. Listen. Whatever we are talking about here has nothing to do with trading, or has less to do. Let me make it clear. Maybe it has less to do with trading. Because for the past 8 years of being here, I've seen lots of traders who have been here with no meaningful achievement, with no meaningful purpose, and they vanish in the market. It is important for you to know. Leadership skills is what is important. Now, for you to be able to sustain your business, let me tell you something. As a business person or as a business personnel, always you are optimistic about your progress, ensuring things will move in a positive way. But there are key things you need to know. So far as business is concerned, that things may not always happen as expected. Things may not always happen as what? As expected. Now, I asked you earlier on, if you are the CEO of a great company, how would you sustain the business within the next 5 years or 10 years? And this is what we are discussing today. Now, if you are the CEO of your business, of a great company, what will you do to sustain the business? And the tragedy is that a lot of people are too selfish. A lot of people are too selfish, but they want money. Money does not exist in the pocket of selfish beings. Money does not exist in the pocket of what? Of selfish beings. So, if you are good enough in what you do and you really want to promote it to the top, you want to get to the top, you need to understand that you don't need to be selfish, right? You don't need to be what? You don't need to be selfish. You don't need to be selfish. Now, another key aspect of leadership growth and also ensuring you can grow to sustain your business is to learn how to show up, either it is positive or in negative times. And the old key Bible says it in a simple way that see a man diligent to his work, he shall stand before kings and queens. See a man diligent to his work, he shall stand before kings and queens. Right? See a man diligent to his work, and he shall stand before kings and queens. You don't want to be diligent to your work, but you want to talk about growth. You don't want to be diligent to your work, but you want to get to the top. Listen, you can never get to the top. And even if you get to the top, your business will still collapse. Even if you get to the top, your business will still do what? Your business will still collapse. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about sustainability, it's also a matter of understanding delayed gratification. When we talk of sustainability, it's also a matter of understanding delayed gratification. And before delayed gratification will work out for you, you should understand that it will work out for those who showed up in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon. Those who showed up in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. Either in good season or in bad season, they showed up. Those are the people that will be able to make from the cow. Ladies and gentlemen, building a sustainable business is not a joke. Building a sustainable business is not what? It's not a joke. Inculcate the habit of showing up in good season and in bad season. So learn the habit of showing up at all times. Some of you, you think you have a business. Today you don't go to work. Tomorrow you go. The next day you don't go. But the following day you go because I have the business. It's my business. And what I think, what I want to do is what I will do. Look, you won't even last up to 4 years. Even 4 years is too far. 2 years wouldn't even last. The business will collapse. Just imagine you have a shop and you decide not to open the shop. You have 7 days in a week. You decide not to open the shop for 3 days. And you want to be making good sales. Now listen, you decide not to open the shop for 3 days in a week, and you still want to be making good sales. Now, it is important for you to understand that showing up morning, showing up evening, showing up afternoon, consistency in showing up will matter to where you can be able to reach. That is the reason why great men and business in business are so likewise and different in thinking as compared to ordinary people who claim they are in business. Ladies and gentlemen, you must ensure and also understand that leadership growth is important and it should just be a habit of yours. When you say something is your habit, when you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, it has become part of you. It is your habit. Isn't it? When you wake up, you know you should eat. It's part of you. It's your habit. You do it because it's part of you. This is the exact thing we are talking about here. If you really want to sustain your business, let your business also be part of you. Let it be your habit. Inculcate the habit of growing your business either in good time or in bad time, and you'll be able to reach to the top. Because it's not for the weak, right? Yes. There is no easy path. Listen, there is no easy path. There is no what? Easy path. And the shortest cut or the shortest way leads to the longest cut. The shortest cut leads to the longest cut. So if you really think you cannot work on a long-term goal, then forget it. Suffering is very true of yours, and you'll be able to face it at a long-term run. Look, let me tell you, it is better to commit 5 years. It is better to commit 10 years. It is better to commit 15 years to solve that problem than to work the rest of your life. It's because you are not willing. Sustainability is easy, but it's difficult to those who are not willing to follow the principles of growth. Sustainability is easy, but it is also difficult to those who are not willing to follow the principles of what? Of growth. And the next key things that I will add up so far as leadership growth is concerned, that if you really want to build an empire, if you really want to build an empire which will sustain at the long-term run, as a leader, you must understand that your most valuable asset is your energy. Your most valuable asset is your what? Is your energy as a leader. And that is the reason why it is very, 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 very bad. Listen, it is very, very, very bad to attach yourself to negative people when you are growing something good. So as a person, I don't like negative people in my life. If at the time you are negative, I don't like you. Because negative energy or negativity drain your energy, your valuable energy. That is your valuable asset. So your most valuable asset is your energy. And never allow any man to detract the energy towards that something good that you have. Never allow any man to detract the energy that you have toward that something good. That is the reason why some of you, those who are in my, I'll tell you, if you are in my team and you misbehave, I will remove you. I don't care who you are. You have to go. That is a fact. Because the world does not revolve around you. The world does not revolve around you. Yes. So, if you want to be a good leader who wants to grow his business and sustain his business, you must understand that your most valuable asset is your energy, and never allow any man to distract your energy towards something good. If you know what you have is good, protect it and never allow negativity to influence you. And that is the reason why the Great Bible still says it again. Sorry, it still says it again that show me your friend, and as he used to say it as a proverbs, he said, a good company or a bad company corrupts good character. A bad company corrupts what? Good character. So in African proverbs, we say, show me your friend, and I will show you who you are. Show me your friend, and I will show you who you are. So that is the reason why always you may be hearing that they said the rich befriend the rich and the poor befriend the poor. Yes, it's because you don't understand. You get it? The rich befriend the rich and the poor befriend the poor. Yes, because bad company corrupts good character. Bad company corrupts what? Good character. So if you are a leader, if you want to grow, be among positive leaders. Do you get it? Be among what? Positive leaders who also want to grow. If you be in the midst of people who discuss negativity, if you be in the midst of people who discuss retrogress, you may never progress in your life. And for you to build a sustainable business, you need great minds. You need what? Great minds. And what you need to understand is that every great company stands a chance of a long-term sustainability if it can comply to certain key concepts in the business. So every business must have a culture, and you must be able to be disciplined to obey your principles. Some of you, you do friendship. He's my friend. Let me listen to him. Since he's my friend, oh, he's my upline. Oh, he's my this. Look, me, I don't do those things because my business is my life. Yes, that is a fact. Because a day may come, what you've been able to build will sustain you. When no one is there to sustain you, what you've been able to build will do what? Will sustain you. So sustainability in business matters a lot. And whilst I'm about to end this session, let me give you these principles. As a leader, what do you need to know and what do you need to build on it? Okay. And the first thing is, if we really want to build a sustainable business, okay, if you really want to build a sustainable business, for the type you want to do what? Build a sustainable business, then I guess this is what is going to help you. I guess this is what is going to help you. This is what is going to help you. You must develop the courage of firing people, that is, firing negative people around you. You must develop the courage of firing negative people around you. If someone is negative in your business, look, if someone is negative in your business, do not waste 5 minutes of your time to wait. Either they will change, they have to go. And haven't you heard of it before? That one bad nut corrupts plenty nuts. One bad nut corrupts plenty nuts. Granuts, right? So develop the courage. Some of you, you are too fearful when someone is misbehaving. Instead of you to tell the person, hey, my friend, you are misbehaving. If you are a leader and you cannot be courageous enough to tell people they are misbehaving, you can never sustain a business. You collapse it. Once you get to the top, the business will collapse because at the top, there are a lot of foolish people at the top. If I'm making sense, give me one in the chat. If what I'm saying is loud and clear, Give me one in the chat. Let me know if it's making sense to you. Let me know if it's making sense to you. Let me know if it's making sense to you. Yes, let me know. Let me know if it's making sense to you. Yeah. Yes. So if you are a true leader, if you are a true leader who wants to sustain your business, develop the courage of firing negative people around you. Some of you got good downlines, but there was one sheep, should I call him a wolf, on the platform. His negative comments brought all the energy of your downlines out of the platform, on the platform. And today they also want to quit. You were so fearful of removing that person on the platform. That is the reason why now your business is collapsing. Develop the courage of firing negative people around you. It's a courage. It takes courage to do that. So if you don't have courage, you cannot build business, because business is not meant for coward people. If you are coward, you cannot build a business. That is a fact. Right? Now, the next thing is develop the habit of hiring people. Develop the habit of what? Of hiring people. And when I say develop the habit of hiring people, you should develop the habit of learning how to bring people in. Okay? Develop the habit of what? Bringing people in, hiring new people, bringing them in your project. Right? Develop that habit of what? Of bringing new people in your project. You own it. It's your system. Don't be fearful to bring people in. It's working. So allow people to see the good result, the good thing that your business is bringing out for them. And I guess in so doing, you'll be able to do what? You'll be able to build a sustainable business. And the last part, develop the spirit of training people. Now, you cannot bring someone, or you cannot hire someone in your business. Just assume you are a CEO of your business. You brought someone in the business. You need to develop the spirit of training the person to ensure they are also enjoying the business. Training is important. Training is what is important. And just as I started, in whichever changing world, what constitutes security for you to get to yesterday's results may not be able to sustain you to maintain today's results. So develop the habit or the spirit of training people. Develop the spirit of what? Of training people. Never be tired of training people. Never be tired of training people. Because if you can be able to train more people, with time, you'll be able to earn good efforts from your results. I want to do it, but I want to teach 10,000 people how to do it the way I do it. And that is called leadership. That is called sustainability. I want to do it, but I want to teach 1,000 people how to do it. That is called business. That is called leadership. And that is called sustainability. And if you try doing this, you have what you call forward momentum. If you try doing these things, you have what you call forward momentum. And I think this will be a great impact to your journey, because every business must surely see progress. Every business must surely see progress. In as much as there will be difficult times, and as a business person, you need to have that habit. You should also understand that every business needs to progress. And whenever you are doing these things, it is called forward momentum, because when you keep grinding and adding those little results, doing those little things that add up to the business growth, it brings more momentum, it adds up more momentum, and that is what we call forward momentum, forward progress. And every business needs that. Once we drive the courage of doing that, starting from our burning desire and our growth, our system building, and then also our duplicable system, and then also leadership growth. Building upon it gradually, you may be able to build a sustainable business. The next day, you may be a CEO of a company. The next day, you may be a CEO of something. The next day, you may be traveling around the world as a global leader. The next day, you may be traveling in your local community as a team leader. The next day, you may be traveling around the world, or you may be traveling to see your people. The next day, you may be hosting different Zoom meetings. The next day, you'll be making different calls because you are training yourself as a good leader. And that is called leadership, right? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I guess I wouldn't talk much, and I would like to end here. And I believe following these key concepts, this will build you up to maintain or build a sustainable business. This is called sustainability. We are just a part of it is called sustainability. And if God permits, another time, when I get the opportunity to be with you again, I'll talk about maintenance. Okay, sustainability and then maintenance, which is very, very important in as a vital way of growing business. And I think it will really help you. Build on it, grow on it, and keep going. And I believe the top is empty. Let's keep fighting, and one day we may give ourselves the applause that indeed we fought the good fight because we stood for ourselves and we actually fought for what we want. God bless you. If you have any question, you can feel free to ask. I think I hand it over to Doris if any of the leaders is around. All right. All right, so I guess we will end here. Maybe there is no question, and I guess most leaders are not. Maybe they are not in good environment to um have conversation with them. So I don't know if there are any leader here who want to say anything, or yes, if there is any question too, we can bring it out before we bring this session to an end. Can bring it out before we bring this session to an end. Let's go out there. Let's be positive. Let's keep growing. Prayer Q is here for us. And if we can take our time to build it with time, we will be able to see the results. Maybe it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but definitely it will happen. If it's not your time yet, it will surely happen. The most important thing is keep building on it, keep working on the structure, keep working on the system, keep doing what you are doing, and you will definitely get the results. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to end here and we shall proceed another time. God bless you for being here this afternoon. Thank you for your time and thank you for being here today. All right.
Thank you, David.